So guys, today we're going to talk about EX5 and we're going to talk about BT-13 in the wild. So without further ado, let's get into the video and talk about it. So first off, we do have the image for none other than EX5 up on the screen. So we got Lunamon, Koonamon, Leomon, and then we have Metal Garurumon X Antibody. So that finally means there is some support coming for the X Antibody deck. Maybe a revival support because the old one doesn't actually clash really nicely with the new support that just happened in the starter deck. So we'll have to see what happens here, but it might be a black version that is similar to the Metal Garurumon black line, and it does have its X Antibody line, so it could be a purple based theme, and that would lead to having some nice synergy there. But if not, it could be a blue theme, and then you go from there. I think that's going to be a big takeaway here. So this is very similar to how the art went for none other than the EX3 art. So I can't tell you for a fact that we will have the same design as what we wanted it to be. And what do I mean by that is that, remember, they had Agumon as a different color scheme. They had, Vmon as it's blue, but it ended up being red. So it definitely is going to change up things for sure, and I don't know how that's going to be. So definitely keep an eye out on this set, especially since if you are a big fan like me, I do want my Lunamon deck to be its own thing. Please do not do what they've done with the Alter S and the Imperial Dramon decks. Please, that would be terrible in-game design. They need to be their own separate decks, and then you can have Grace Nova be a part of it. I can't see them being, one deck cohesive strategy doing that zigzag climb that we have for Alter S, or the trash based theme that we have for Imperial Dramon red purple. That's just, they're too gimmicky, and they said this will be the pinnacle of competitive. They both will be able to be played that way, so that's going to be a huge indicator for me. But definitely good to see that. And let's get into the nitty. Let's see. Let's get into it though. Let's do a quick overview here of the global trade station distribution. So first off, it features Master Royal Knights. We already know this stuff here, but the big things were that somebody got their hands on the product early. And that's a big indicator that causes issues, right? So this card has +4 cards with low pull rates, Royal Knights, and cards with powerful effects are for a festive set. So this set includes unprecedented 4 different rare cards with a low pull rate. This card also features special alternative design. Not only are those cards rare but powerful, but they will be highly desired by all players. Then the regular box topper contains an alternate art design tamer, so that's expected. This time, however, it's a double box topper, and it will preview a new mechanic from the starter deck, 15 to 16 scheduling for release summer 2023. This is a huge draw for users looking for a new gameplay experience and drive excitement for the new booster set. So, one of two things is going to happen. Either the the promo aces that they're giving us, because we know what the starter decks are, 15 16, they have ace. That is their new mechanic, and again, if they were going for 14 cards, that would be a different story, but I already knew that this should have been the Metal Garurumon Ace and War Greymon Ace, and this will definitely take into excitement here, that we should know this new mechanic is that, and that's very important, because some people will say otherwise that, oh, it should have been something from BT-14. No, it's not going to be that way. It's got to be the starter decks. They mentioned the starter deck directly. There's no way it wasn't going to be something else. So, if anybody said otherwise, you're kind of wrong. So, let's see. Let's get back into the images, shall we? So, first off, this is English set boosters that did come onto the wild. This is from one person and one person only getting the product this early, but they are showing off that they do have the boxes. They do look beat up, Looks like they fell off the back of the truck is the kind of innuendo that is kind of coming here. I don't see these actually were basically product that was supposed to get in your hands. This is a big hindrance for a lot of players because they don't like to see early product, but this is scary to see versus Royal Knights as in the wild. This could cause some complications. If they do an investigation, might mean we might see a delay because if things get out in the wild extremely early like this, that means things have to stop moving for a little bit to figure out why this happened. And somebody's job is going to be lost because of this, because they should not have ever reached us this early. So definitely one thing, don't buy anybody's sales on this. This is way too expensive and overly hyped. You will be basically losing money left and right for it. So definitely don't do that. But here's an example though. You want to take a look. Here are the Metal Garurumon aces with the War Greymon aces as box toppers. So this should definitely change up a little bit of the meta. War Greymon should stay on top as usual, but Metal Garurumon can definitely help the purple decks. But outside of that, I don't see this actually doing anything in the purple line. And what do I mean by this? Is that most of the purple decks doesn't really have room to tech in these aces. Yes, people are going to throw aces in and just hope and pray, but when people start realizing you're trying to just set up an ace, they're going to kill it. There's no doubt in my mind that they're going to just counter you if you do your ace shenanigans. So I really think you guys got to play smart and be smart with aces. They're very easy to read into, so you don't have to worry about it. But War Greymon might be the only exception to the rule, just because their ace is just very interesting. It's not a bad ace because it just gives blocker, and then when a card is removed from your security stack, you may unsuspend this Digimon. So removed from a security stack. So he's a double tacker, but it's nothing too crazy. War Greymon ace can be easily played around. Then let's get into it though. This is what we're really here for, is taking a quick look at all these alties. So looks like he got the Omnimon Secret, Balthamon Rage Mode ulti, Dynasmon ulti, Raid Mode. This is one of the coveted search cards. It's one of the harder ones. Raidmon is definitely one of those. Then you have the All Force Vidramon and then Shine Greymon Burst Mode. Again, these have been sold already, so don't expect to be able to get your hands on them now. But people did buy into this. So and then you have like Contorusmon, you have Alphamon, Dynasmon, Gallantmon, All Force Vidramon. So it's definitely showing that we do have a good amount of stuff. But BT-13 also has commons, uncommons, rares, and super rares. Dude sold most of his product outright, and that's kind of seemed expected. But things you got to take into consideration is you should not be buying into something like this. Stuff that fall off into the truck and everything. He was using Japanese pricing, so even if you take into some of the cards, they were overly hyped for Japanese paired to the English, because we usually get double the product in one box, but they are paying for half the price, they get half the product. We just pay double the price, we get double the product. We get 2 boxes basically in the set with more cards in common and uncommons in our 12 packs. They have like a 6-pack deal, I think, if I remember correctly. But this is just good information to take into account that somebody is going to lose their job, because this should never have happened. There will be some sort of investigation, because Bandai is not a huge fan of product falling off their way of thinking, you know. It's scary. They should not have released this like this, and I'm sorry that we went through this, guys, but this is just some information you should take into account when your guys are looking at this. I think it's good that, one, we got the aces confirmed, that it was going to be Metal Garurumon and War Greymon ace. It wasn't going to be something from BT-14, because why would they do that? Then you had no reason to sell BT-14, because the aces are half the reason to sell it. The starter decks are iffy at best. Some players just don't want to pick up the starter deck. Now you get a shot at just getting the ace. So it's not terrible there. That's pretty decent. Then you have access to the Royal Knights here that we obviously seeing that he's got in a few boxes. They look kind of tattered and destroyed. So that's a huge informational thing that they definitely seem like they were going to be tossed out or something like that. So it might have been a damaged pallet and at the location where these things come in. And I have a feeling that they were told to toss these. And what happened was the employee, instead of destroying them like they were supposed to, ended up grabbing the product that they were told to toss. I think that's what possibly happened, or it could have been a shop that got it early. Do I think it was a shop that got it early? Probably not, but I think what happened was definitely by looking at these boxes here, definitely could have been a bad container that came through. Again, product ends up arriving early for a reason through the ports and everything like that, because this does come from the ports that are from Japan's printing company, brings it over here, and then they basically handle it from there. If anything is damaged, usually too far gone for the distributor to like, they either toss it or send it back. If the instruction is to toss it, then it goes into the trash. Means you can grab this from the trash, in which possibly this is what happened. As I said, probably was tossed out, but the employee knew that it was Digimon, they're a fan of it, took the product, and then basically has sold it for up cost. Am I going to rat somebody out? No, I'm not going to tell you who this was, but it's just good information to give you guys. There's possibilities of anything else, but guys, what do you think? Let me know down in the comments what you think happened. It's good to know. So guys, have a great day. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next one. Peace.